Tonight, the wildfire threat in Southern California not over as whipping winds send dozens of homes up in flames.
It remains dynamic and it remains dangerous.
Santa Ana wind gusts spreading embers through this heavily populated area. Some carried up to 3 miles away, starting new fires.
There's a fire in the backyard.
14,000 residents told to evacuate. Phil Amantia left his home of 30 years as the fire tore through his neighborhood. Were any houses burned?
When I left, they were burning.
How many?
One next door to me, one across the street from me, and one at the top of my cul.
Fire crews are going up and down this road trying to reach homes like this that are fully engulfed. You can see this plume of dark smoke billowing into the air as this fire rips through the home. It is going to be a total loss as it is completely obliterated. The wildfire threat has expanded beyond the West Coast, known for its dry conditions. Today, parts of New Jersey are also ablaze, smoke visible for miles. A new fire in Burlington County threatening more than 100 structures. Back in California, residents are starting to return to their homes, no longer standing.
It's very sad. It's very, very sad, but we got out with our lives, 2 cars and a dog. We can't ask for much more, and we have insurance, so we're just going with that.
As firefighters battle tough conditions like sporadic winds and at one point running out of water.
It's intense as it gets. The hair on the back of the firefighter's neck, I'm sure, was standing up.
Firefighters are committed to saving homes and lives.
And Dana, this firefight is not over, and it sounds like another strong wind event could impact the same area as soon as next week.
That's right, Lester. That Santa Ana wind event is expected Tuesday night. Fire officials say they are preparing now and ready to respond to any potential impacts from that event. Lester.
Women have been hurt after a shooting in Miami.
We're learning a discussion about politics may have actually led to the gunfire. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live at the scene with the very latest.
Yeah, we're right here in the neighborhood. Things have since cleared, but it looked much differently just a few days ago. We're told that this shooting happened off in the distance right there where you can see that boarded up front door to that building. City of Miami police are now investigating that shooting that happened near Northwest 5th Place and 20th Street early Tuesday morning. Investigators said just after midnight on Election Day Tuesday, there was an argument between a group of people that were gathered outside of that building that you're looking at. Witnesses say that they were drinking and discussing politics when one person became upset, went to their car, grabbed a gun, and then opened fire, hitting 3 women. The 3 victims were rushed to Jackson's Trauma Center to be treated for their injuries, while 2 of the women are now in stable condition. One is fighting for her life after being shot in the stomach. I spoke with one resident out here who heard that gunfire. Here's what she told me.
I heard somebody screaming, and then the sirens coming. So.
And does that worry you at all that happened right here next to where you live?
Just a little bit, yeah, because it's very common around here. There are good people, in this complex, so I don't know. But I don't think that was political.
And while that resident doesn't seem to believe that this was political, investigators do. They do believe they know who is responsible for this. That said, no arrests have been made. So if you have any information that can help them, you are urged to contact Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. That number, 305-471-TIPS. For now in the city of Miami, Roy Ramos,
Moving on, authorities in the Pakistani province of Punjab have ordered educational institutions in several areas to close until November 17th, and then they have further shifted to online teaching to protect children and curb pollution. The province, home to more than half of Pakistan's 240 million people, had earlier closed primary schools, curbed restaurants, and shuttered some barbecue restaurants in the mega city, Lahore. Now, live rankings by Swiss group IQ Air gave Lahore a pollution index score of 1165, followed by the Indian capital of New Delhi with 299. The record high air pollution in Lahore is sending more people to hospitals and private clinics. Authorities have warned that a complete lockdown could be imminent if residents fail to don face masks and follow other guidance related to smog. The doctors highlighted that most people are complaining of either having cough or they feel their eyes are burning. Other affected cities include Faisalabad, Pakistan's third largest, as well as Multan and Gujranwala.
I'm not sure anywhere is safe. You know, like it's like a slow horror movie. Like it's just constantly creeping up behind you. No matter where you run, unless people fix this issue, there are so many people who are never going to get better because of something they can't control.
The province of Punjab has also set up a smog war room to tackle severe pollution. The war room will bring together staff from 8 departments with a single person charged with overseeing tasks that range from controlling the burning of farm waste to managing traffic. Now, twice daily, sessions will analyze data and forecast to brief stakeholders on efforts to fight pollution and issue daily advisories. The Pakistan government has also said it was looking into methods to induce artificial rainfall to combat the pollution. Now, by Wednesday's index score for Lahore well short of last week's unprecedented reading of 1900 in some areas, in excess of more than 120 times over recommended levels. Now, this is prompting bans on some building activity and orders to work from home.
خلاص
So what do we know about the North Korean military? Well, as one of the world's most secretive states, information about its armed forces is hard to verify, even though it's very keen to parade it before the world whenever it can. What we do know is that it's one of the most militarized societies in the world. This year, Pyongyang said it was earmarking 16% of all state spending for defense. All men between the ages of 17 and 30 have to enlist in the military, and they have to serve anything from 3 to 12 years in uniform. The Korean People's Army, or KPA, has an estimated 1.3 million active personnel. That includes a million-strong army, an air force of 110,000, and a navy of 60,000. It also has nearly 7,000 personnel involved in cyber warfare. Those numbers make it one of the world's largest militaries, beaten only by the likes of China and the United States. Analysts believe Pyongyang can also call on a further 600,000 reservists. North Korea is also one of only 9 countries in the world known to have nuclear weapons. The fourth branch of its military, its strategic forces, operate a range of intercontinental ballistic missiles, which can be armed with nuclear warheads. Some of them, it's believed, are capable of reaching anywhere in the United States. The KPA also has a lot of conventional military equipment, including more than 3,500 tanks, but a lot of it is old Soviet-era armour. North Korea's Air Force has more than 400 fighter aircraft, 80 bombers and more than 200 transport aircraft. But again, many of them date from the Soviet Union, with some thought to be up to 80 years old. The Korean People's Army Naval Force has around 470 surface vessels, including guided missile ships and torpedo boats. It also has around 70 submarines, including Romeo-class boats built by the Soviets in the late 1950s. Recently, Kim Jong-un has moved to boost the size of the Navy and equip it with nuclear weapons. It's also believed to have deployed new underwater drones, warships, and its first operational missile submarine. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News.
As Donald Trump is set to become the U.S. president, Mexico is preparing for possible trade disputes, tariffs, and most importantly, mass deportations of migrants. That's as per experts in a serious strain in ties between the neighbors. Migrants in Mexican border cities expressed fears about the potential impact of Donald Trump's victory on their asylum-seeking process and concerns that their plans to enter the U.S. could be disrupted.
Pues no quiere a los latinos, no quiere a los mexicanos y pues siento que sí va a ser más difícil, más complicado igual para nosotros.
¿Intentarás cruzar de alguna u otra manera? O sea, si es legal o ilegal, ¿intentarás cruzar?
Lo vuelvo a repetir, yo sí. Hablo por mí y mi familia no, pero yo sí.
Tenemos miedo todos los migrantes porque aquí estamos en un albergue donde hay muchos migrantes y tenemos miedo, pero esperemos que él piense también que necesitamos su ayuda de él y esperemos que nos ayude. ¿Por qué? Porque él es su presidente y tiene que ver no nada más por su país, sino por toda la gente de todo el mundo, no nada más de su país.
Migrants along the Mexico-U.S. border, especially in cities like Ciudad Juarez and Tijuana, are concerned about the future of CBP-1 program, a crucial route to legal entry into the U.S. Many worry that they may be left in the dark if the appointments they have been waiting for under the program get cancelled.
Todos estamos preocupados aquí en el albergue y qué va a pasar con nosotros, ya que todos estábamos esperando la cita. Entonces estamos entre qué va a pasar con nosotros, si nos van a dar chance de quedarnos aquí, o pues el presidente no va a quitar la aplicación y pues vamos a seguir pasando así, pero hay que esperar todavía.
However, it is not the first time that Trump has threatened to impose steep tariffs. Trump changed U.S. immigration politics and policies during his previous administration by implementing policies that left hundreds of thousands of migrants stranded in camps along the Mexican border between 2017 and 2021.
Sicher wird vieles unter einer von Donald Trump geführten Regierung anders. Das hat Donald Trump auch immer öffentlich klargemacht. Unsere Botschaften sind klar. Erstens, Deutschland bleibt ein verlässlicher transatlantischer Partner. Wir wissen um den Beitrag, den wir für diese Partnerschaft leisten und auch in Zukunft leisten werden. Das gilt auch mit Blick auf die Bedrohung, die Russland nach Auffassung aller NATO-Alliierten für die Sicherheit im euroatlantischen Raum darstellt.
Ja, det är klart att europeisk säkerhet har i 80 år varit också ett amerikanskt kärnintresse. Jag har full respekt för att USA tycker att Ryssland är i mycket hög grad en fråga för Europas säkerhet som vi inte kan abdikera från och hoppas att USA ska lösa åt Europa, för att karikera något. Men jag är helt övertygad om att Ryssland också, ett Ryssland som lär sig att man kan annektera europeiska demokratier, är ett globalt hot. Ce n'est inte det enda globala hotet.
Le président de la République, vous le savez, a eu l'occasion d'adresser ses félicitations à Donald Trump et d'échanger à ce sujet avec le chancelier allemand. Ils se connaissent, ils ont déjà travaillé ensemble pendant 4 ans et le président de la République a précisé lors de ce Conseil des ministres que notre rôle n'était pas de commenter le choix des peuples souverains, mais qu'il fallait bien, en revanche, un réveil stratégique européen.
Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down, but the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith. Folks, you all know it in your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith.